Melinda. I'm Elizabeth.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Thank you.
I am a social worker here at FaithWorks, where our mission is to help people navigate through life's difficult challenges and transitions. My role here is to partner with you in identifying the issues that brought you in today, as well as exploring ways to move through them. We have 30 minutes scheduled for your session today, and we will use that time to collaborate and make a plan. But before we get started, I need to go over our confidentiality agreement. Our conversation is confidential. However, there are limitations to that confidentiality. So if I learn of something that is serious, foreseeable, or an imminent harm to you or others, then I would need to report that and get some extra help. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I understand.
Okay, good. Did you have any trouble finding the office today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, good. Do you have any issues with transportation getting here?
No, I have a car and it's reliable.
Oh, that's great. I normally take notes in order to stay on task and so that we can continue to work on the plan that we formulate together. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, because I actually brought 2 books with me in case we need to. I might want to discuss some of them with you.
Okay, that's right. That is shows a lot of motivation, organization. What brings you in today?
Well, I have had a lot of loss and grief since June of 2024. My husband of 31 years, Roger, had Lewy body dementia, and he died on June 6, 2024 in the Big Bend Hospice House in Tallahassee. And he had been sick for years, and I've been his caregiver. And then on August the 5th, my first husband, that was the father of my 2 daughters, Roger and I helped him a lot over the years, and we were still friends. And he died on August the 5th. And then on October the 6th, my youngest daughter, Katie, she lived in Chicago, and she had been here for several weeks, and then she went back home, and she died a couple of weeks later. And so that has been just a devastating loss.
Well, what you describe is a staggering series of losses. Your husband and your ex-husband, who you guys were still friends with, and your daughter. So it's completely understandable that you're seeking help to figure out how to process it all and to get through your grief. When did you say your daughter passed?
My daughter died October the 6th in Chicago. Losing my daughter has been very different. With Roger, I had been taking care of him, and he, for many years, and I did everything I could for him. I gave him lots of love. Whatever I could do to help take care of him, I did. And I attended the Big Bend Hospice grieving process.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you don't have any regrets with your husband's care. And with his passing, caregiving is difficult, and
Yes, it is.
it's rewarding too. I heard you say that losing your daughter is different than the other losses. Could you go into more detail about that for me?
Yes, losing Katie has been the hardest loss. My heart is just broken. And we were very, very close. We talked every day, sometimes multiple times. And she was not only my daughter, but she was my best friend. And I'm just feeling anger and emptiness. The anger being that while she was here and was sick, she didn't go and get help. I tried to talk her into going to the doctor or the hospital. And so I'm angry at her, but I'm also angry at myself for not getting her to get help.
Right.
And not stressing the importance.
Right. Well, anger and emptiness are natural and normal feelings during this grief process and this sudden loss that you've had. Losing Katie, who you have described as your daughter as well as your best friend, must feel devastating. It's entirely understandable that your heart is just broken right now. Thank you for sharing those deep feelings with me.
Well, a lot of my anger is also my daughter, my oldest daughter, was estranged from me for 18 years. And we've had a really difficult relationship. And she has just been, when she calls, she says she's calling to check on me and to see how I am. But then she starts talking really bad about her sister, her dead sister, and her dad. And it just really hurts. And I was very angry at her the other day. I had a big confrontation with her.
Well, it sounds like the confrontation might have been necessary to place some boundaries around your emotional safety in order to have a safe space to grieve. Could you tell me a little bit more about the anger?
Well, that confrontation was very painful, but it was necessary. I just lost it that day and told her that I didn't want to hear another negative word about her sister or her father. And that was the first time I really had stood up to her on the issues. And I think what it reveals to me is that I know that I've always been a people pleaser and I like for everybody to like me and be happy. And it just showed me how empty and angry I was feeling. And it's been very difficult. But that confrontation was a boundary that I needed to have with her. And to set my emotional space, I need to take care of my self-care.
I agree, and I am glad that you said that, and we can work on ways to set more boundaries. It is difficult with going through this is hard enough, and having outside pressures such as confrontations with your daughter or feeling like you need to people please, right? Those
it's very hard.
Yes, they are. Yes, it is very hard, especially when you're feeling so depleted, right? So, did you mention they've been hospice before?
Yes, I did.
Did you happen to take their 13-week grief course?
Yes, I did. It really helped me a lot through the grieving process, following the death of Roger. But a lot of them were really crying and really guilty feelings about their loss. And I feel like I gave it everything I could to my husband. I took very good care of him and I stood up for him. And, I just did all that I could. And so, I just didn't have any regrets at all.
Have you contacted them or sought out any other grieving group since Katie has died?
Well, it was recommended the Compassionate Friends for the loss of a child. And so I did reach out to them, and I went to a meeting, and the ladies there were very nice, but they spent at least 20 minutes talking about somebody wanted to donate a table and chairs, and they spent 20 minutes trying to decide if they wanted the table and chairs. And so I just felt like my grief was so fresh, and they all seemed like they had been together for a long period of time. And they're going to have they wanted me to come to a lighting ceremony in December and in the sanctuary. But I decided I'm just going to light my own candles. I'm going to light 3 candles and do my prayers here at home, at my home.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the Compassionate Friends, is that what it's called? That I might agree with you that it's not the place for you. Sounds like they just didn't give you the space that we keep talking about that you need, and they didn't have the space for you to share such fresh grief with them. So
Right.
Is that how you feel?
Yes, that's accurate.
That's accurate. So, when you were caregiving for your husband Roger with memory disorders, did you take him to the local respite that we have here in the county on Mondays?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, in about 2 weeks, there's going to be a grief group that is starting there. I think this is their second group that they've had. It is a 7-week grief group that is facilitated by a fellow social worker, and it sounds like for you, you need that it's an advantage to you to have a beginning and an end date, and so this being 7 weeks and you don't have to drive an hour to town and it's local, is this something that you would be interested in?
I think I would like to give that a try, yes.
Great.
I've also been reading and journaling. That's helped a lot also.
Oh, that's wonderful. Those are great self-care steps. Could you tell me some more about this?
Yes, one of my friends from church gave me a book called Shattered: Surviving the Loss of a Child. And each chapter is about 3 pages long, and it has questions at the end and then a thought for the day. And I've been answering the questions, and then it has a blank page after that, and I've been writing and journaling in it. And then I also have a book, Grieving the Loss of Someone You Love, that was given to me when Roger passed. And it's been very helpful. In fact, there was a chapter on anger. The section is the second on grief, second emotion on grief, is anger.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's been helpful.
Good.
Plus, I have my faith in God.
Excellent. Have you been able to do any fellowship or get to church since Katie died?
I did go. I went a couple of weeks ago, and it was very hard to get through the doors, but I did go.
I can recognize how difficult that must have been for you, and I see the strength that it takes for you to get there also. And another strength that you have is what we just discussed, is your reading and writing and journaling. Would you agree?
Yes, it definitely has been.
Okay. Well, we have covered a significant amount of ground today. We have acknowledged the immense weight of your losses for Roger and Brian and Katie, and we have affirmed that your feelings of anger and emptiness are normal and stages of the grieving process, as well as we have established that some boundaries need to be set and communicated, and identified that you have strength, that you're already doing some self-care stuff and you're reading and writing and journaling. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, it does sound accurate. That's correct.
Well, what do you think about continuing to use your self-care strength, to utilize those for our plan?
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. Well, do you think that you could commit to 15 minutes of journaling a day?
Oh, yes, I can do that.
Okay. Also, I would like for you to write down at least one boundary. It can be either with your daughter or with the outside world. That way you can establish your emotional space for grieving. Do you think you could do that?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. Also, let's see, could you bring your journal in next week? Would you feel okay with sharing an entry or two with me?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay,
I'll
good.
be willing to do that.
Okay, that way we can process that together. Well, let's review our plans for the upcoming week. And so we have two main objectives. The first one is for you to do the reading and the writing and the journaling, and writing about your emotions, as well as writing about the one boundary or more if you can come up with them, so that we can discuss that. And on my part, I'm going to get some more sources, some evidence-based sources on grieving and setting boundaries, as well as I'm going to reach out to our local respite and grief group, and that way I will be able to relay to you next week the date and time and the contact information, and so I can give you that information next week.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, good. So we're scheduled next week, and your insurance gives us 16 weeks of us working together. And it doesn't mean that we need to be completely through at 16 weeks, but it does mean that we will evaluate it as we come to the end of the 16 weeks. And we can decide if you would like to continue, and if so, then I can process that with the insurance. And I would like to say again, thank you so much for coming in today. It's great to meet you, and I look forward to getting together next week and talking.
Well, that's great. It was really nice, and it was good to be able to talk and get some of it out. Thank you for that.